Everyone thinks empty blackjack tables mean the casino is losing money. Dead wrong. Those vacant felt surfaces you see across the strip are not a sign of failure. They are the plan, working exactly as designed. But why would billion-dollar corporations want to drive away the very customers who built Vegas? What if the real goal was never to fill those seats, but to make sure only certain types of people can afford to sit in them? In this video, I will walk you through leaked casino strategy documents that reveal how they systematically destroyed affordable blackjack. And I will prove this ghost town effect is generating more profit than packed tables ever did. Here is the question that should terrify every Vegas regular. If they can make empty tables more profitable than full ones, what is next? Let me answer that question that's been haunting every Vegas regular. Empty blackjack tables aren't a bug. They're a feature. According to casino executive playbooks, those vacant seats are eliminating what executives callously refer to as low-value players, while maximizing revenue per square foot. Think about it. Every inch of Vegas real estate costs a fortune. Those empty tables you see, they are not waiting for players. They are waiting for the right players. This represents a seismic shift in how success is measured inside casino boardrooms. For decades, packed tables meant prosperity. The more players, the better. Today, it is all about table yield. One high roller spending thousands per hand delivers more profit with less overhead than 20 average players betting $25 a hand. Corporate spreadsheets do not care about atmosphere or tradition. They care about efficiency metrics. The visual evidence is everywhere. Walk through any major strip casino during peak hours and you will see it. Entire blackjack pits with more dealers than players. Minimum bet signs showing $100, $200, even $500 per hand. Compare that to footage from just 10 years ago. Tables 3 deep with players, energy pulsating through the casino floor, minimum bets that allowed anyone to join the action. This transformation did not happen accidentally. Casino corporations made a deliberate strategic pivot from volume-based to margin-based business models. Why serve 100 customers, making you $10 each, when you can serve 10 customers making you $200 each? Less labor, less comps, less overhead, and more profit. It is that simple, and it is that devastating for the average Vegas visitor. But this did not happen overnight. There is a paper trail that shows exactly when they decided to kill affordable blackjack. What I'm about to show you will change how you see every empty chair on the strip. In 2018, an internal strategy document from one of the largest casino groups on the strip laid out what they called table game optimization protocol. The memo, circulated among senior executives and obtained through a former employee, explicitly stated that moving to premium position blackjack would result in approximately 34% higher profit margins, despite a projected 40 to 60% reduction in total player volume. Let me translate that corporate speak. We will make more money with empty tables than full ones. They knew exactly what they were doing. The timeline of destruction is methodical and deliberate. From 2018 to 2019, we saw the widespread introduction of 6 to 5 blackjack replacing the traditional 3 to 2 payout. This single rule change increases the house edge by approximately 1.4%, effectively doubling the casino's advantage over players. To put that in perspective, it is like paying an extra $1.40 tax on every $100 you bet, compared to the old rules. Then came the pandemic. When casinos reopened from 2020 to 2022, they used COVID recovery as cover to implement massive minimum bet increases. Minimums that were once $15 or $25 suddenly became $50, $100, or more, and they never came back down. Meanwhile, casino executives were telling shareholders a different story. On a 2021 earnings call, one chief executive officer boasted that the customer quality they were seeing now was exactly the direction they had been working toward for years, and that the pandemic merely accelerated their strategic roadmap. Between 2023 and today, we have witnessed the most aggressive phase: strategic table removal and space conversion. Casinos are literally ripping out blackjack tables and replacing them with electronic games, slot machines, or experiential attractions that deliver higher profit per square foot. The numbers tell the story better than I can. According to industry data, A single high minimum blackjack table, averaging just 4 players per hour, at $100 minimum bets, generates approximately 40% more profit than a full table of 7 players betting at $25 minimums. Factor in reduced labor costs and reduced comps, and the economics become undeniable. During a private investor presentation in 2022, a casino executive was caught on record saying that they were not in the business of providing affordable entertainment. They were in the business of extracting maximum value from premium customers. Another executive from a different property stated plainly that the days of catering to the middle market gambler were over, that Vegas had evolved, and that their customer targeting had evolved with it. So what is driving this corporate obsession with fewer, richer customers? 3 forces are working together to make sure you can never afford to play again. First, there is relentless real estate pressure. The Strip now costs upward of $30 million per acre. With that kind of investment, every square foot must deliver maximum return. A slot machine takes up less space than a blackjack table, and it generates revenue 24/7 with minimal labor cost. The math is brutal but simple. Blackjack tables that are not generating premium returns are spatial liabilities. Second, labor costs are skyrocketing. Each blackjack table requires approximately 4.2 full-time employees to staff around the clock. Between salaries, benefits, training, and management overhead, that is roughly $300,000 annually per table. By eliminating just 20% of their blackjack tables, a major casino can cut payroll by millions while barely affecting their bottom line if they are targeting high rollers. Third, and perhaps most significantly, is what industry insiders call whale economics. Casino data shows that one player betting $500 per hand will lose approximately 4 times what 10 players betting $50 per hand will lose collectively, despite representing only 1/10 of the labor cost. The high roller also consumes fewer complimentary drinks, requires less dealer attention, and generates higher margin food and beverage spending. Behind all this is relentless Wall Street pressure. Public casino companies are not measured by how many people enjoy their properties. They are measured by EBITDA growth, margin expansion, and return on invested capital. Analyst reports consistently reward casino operators for improving customer quality, a euphemism for eliminating lower-spending visitors in favor of premium players. A managing director at a major investment bank told shareholders in 2023 that the Las Vegas Strip is undergoing a healthy repricing to better align with its world-class status. The future belongs to operators who understand they are selling luxury experiences, not commodity gambling. But what do the people who built Vegas think about being priced out of their own city? The voices casino executives don't want you to hear are growing louder every day. Social media is flooded with frustrated posts from displaced Vegas regulars. One viral thread on Reddit titled, "Vegas doesn't want us anymore," generated over 12,000 comments from former regulars sharing stories of being priced out of their traditional vacation spot. Mike from Chicago, who visited Vegas 3 times a year for 15 years, posted, "Just got back from what's probably my last trip. $75 minimums everywhere, $14 beers, $45 resort fees. They've made it clear people like me aren't welcome anymore." Vegas gambling forums have become virtual support groups for disillusioned players. On a popular blackjack message board, member Vegas veteran wrote, "Been coming to Vegas since 1992. Used to play 8 to 10 hours a day at $25 tables. This trip, couldn't find a single table under $50, even at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. Downtown used to be the solution, but now even Fremont Street has $25 minimums, with horrible rules." The sentiment among locals is even more bitter. Maria, a 25-year Las Vegas resident, told me, "This used to be a town where a casino worker could afford to gamble on their day off. Now, the only people who can afford to play are the tourists the commercials target, and there are not enough of them to fill all those empty tables." Player migration data confirms what we're seeing anecdotally. Regional casinos in places like Laughlin, Reno, and Midwest gaming markets are reporting influxes of former Vegas regulars. Tribal casinos have seen a 23% increase in out-of-state players who cite value for money as their primary reason for choosing these alternatives over Las Vegas. Online gambling platforms are another beneficiary of Vegas's abandonment of its core customers. One major online casino reported that 41% of new signups mentioned being priced out of Vegas as a factor in their decision to gamble online instead of traveling. But beyond the economic impact is the emotional cost. Vegas was never just about gambling. It was about community. Regular players knew their dealers by name. Pit bosses remembered your drink order. That $25 minimum blackjack table was not just a place to play cards. It was where friendships formed, where strangers became companions through shared wins and losses. That culture is dying, replaced by the sterile transactional atmosphere of a luxury boutique. The empty blackjack tables are just the beginning. The real problem runs much deeper. We are witnessing a domino effect across the entire ecosystem. Those empty tables mean fewer players wandering through the casino. Fewer players means less foot traffic past restaurants, bars, and retail shops. Less foot traffic means those venues either need to charge astronomical prices to fewer customers, or close entirely. The cultural death is equally concerning. Vegas was built on a democratic gambling culture. The idea that a school teacher from Ohio could sit next to a business executive from New York at the same blackjack table. That shared experience across economic lines was part of what made Vegas special. When blackjack becomes exclusively for the wealthy, something fundamental about the Vegas experience dies. The economic fallout extends far beyond the casinos themselves. Total visitor volume to Las Vegas has failed to return to pre-pandemic levels, with midweek occupancy rates particularly suffering. Hotels are responding by converting hotel rooms to luxury suites, fewer rooms at higher rates. The same strategy playing out with blackjack tables. Small businesses that depend on casino foot traffic are struggling. Gift shops, independent restaurants, and tour operators report business down 30 to 40% compared to 2019 levels. One longtime strip retailer told me that when blackjack players disappeared, so did a huge chunk of our customer base. These were people who would take breaks from gambling to shop. The high rollers the casinos want do not shop at stores like mine. Vegas is approaching a tipping point where it fully transforms into Monaco, an exclusive playground for the ultra-wealthy with no room for middle-class visitors. The irony is that Vegas was built as the anti-Monaco, a place where ordinary people could experience extraordinary entertainment without needing a yacht to get in the door. The human cost is staggering. Since 2019, approximately 3,200 dealer positions have been eliminated across major strip properties. Those are not just jobs, they are careers, often held by people who dedicated decades to mastering their craft. A veteran dealer with 22 years of experience said that he trained for years to deal perfect blackjack, and now he is being replaced by an electronic table game because the casino decided people like him are too expensive. After watching their beloved city turn into a ghost town, some people are finally fighting back. What happens when the people Vegas forgot start remembering their power? The market is beginning to push back against this extreme strategy. Several off-strip properties have recognized the opportunity created by the major resorts' abandonment of the middle market. Casinos like Orleans, South Point, and Station properties are actively advertising their lower minimums and better odds, positioning themselves as the Vegas like it used to be. The results speak for themselves. While strip properties struggle with midweek occupancy, these value-oriented casinos are reporting steady business. One off-strip casino manager told me that they are seeing players they never used to get. People who stayed and played exclusively on the strip for years, but can no longer afford it. Those players are incredibly loyal once they find us. A grassroots player power movement is emerging. The hashtag FairOddsVegas campaign on social media has generated millions of impressions, with players sharing information about where to find reasonable minimums and favorable rules. Organized boycott weekends targeting specific properties known for the worst odds and highest minimums have gained traction. Even regulatory pressure is building. The Nevada Gaming Control Board has received unprecedented numbers of formal complaints about deceptive advertising practices, hidden resort fees, and misleading game rules. While they have historically been reluctant to intervene in pricing matters, the volume of complaints has prompted several informal inquiries into industry practices. The solution is hiding in plain sight. Volume-based business models still work. The evidence can be seen in thriving casinos outside the Strip that offer fair odds, reasonable minimums, and good value. These properties understand that filling tables with regular players builds loyalty, creates atmosphere, and sustains long-term business. As one successful casino owner outside the Strip told me, the big corporations have convinced themselves that empty tables making big money from occasional whales are better than full tables making steady money from regular players. They have forgotten the first rule of casino business. You need players to have a casino. Without them, you just have expensive carpet and silent card shufflers. Vegas stands at a crossroads, and what happens next depends on whether enough people demand change. Empty blackjack tables aren't inevitable. They represent a choice that casino executives have made. A choice to prioritize short-term margins over long-term sustainability. A choice to cater to the few at the expense of the many. What Vegas loses in this transformation goes beyond economics. It's losing its soul, the democratic spirit that made it unique among global destinations. The idea that anyone with a modest bankroll and a sense of adventure could sit down at a table game and be part of the action. That was the magic of Vegas. Not the buildings or the lights, but the accessibility of the experience. The economic argument for change is compelling. While high minimum tables might be profitable in isolation, the ecosystem around them is collapsing. A casino filled with energy and players creates an environment that attracts more visitors. Empty casinos, regardless of how high their minimums are, project failure and exclusion, neither of which are sustainable business models for a destination built on mass appeal. The power ultimately rests with you, the players. Vote with your wallets. Support properties that still offer reasonable minimums and fair odds. Share information about where value can still be found. Let casino executives know that their strategy is not invisible, that players understand exactly what is happening, and are making informed choices about where to spend their money. Without this kind of collective action, Vegas risks becoming an expensive museum, a place where people come to look at the spectacle but can no longer afford to participate in it. The beating heart of Vegas was never its architecture or attractions. It was the democratic gaming floors where anyone could try their luck. If we lose that, we lose Vegas itself. They betrayed the very people who built Vegas, but we do not have to accept it. Drop a comment with your worst Vegas pricing experience, and let's expose how far this has gone. If you are tired of being treated like you do not matter, hit that subscribe button. We are building an army of Vegas regulars who refuse to be priced out of our own city.